The two categories that women put men in, and why it's so important, why it's so crucial that men understand that they're put in one of two categories. Actually, it's three, but it's usually one of two main categories. So the first category is a guy of high value, right? The guy has options, he has abundance, he is the most sought after male, and women will actively chase this man and throw sex and relationships at him like there's no tomorrow. Okay, so this guy has high SMV, his sexual market value, and his MMV, his marriage market value, or his RMV, his relationship market value, is through the roof, probably because he has two or three of the major characteristics that women look for in a man, which is looks, money, and status. This is the way the world works. There's no Hollywood involved in this. This is the real reality. This is the real world, the real world, how women really behave. Okay? The guy with high value, they'll throw out their standards for this guy. They will ignore their friends and family who say this guy's bad for you if the guy is high enough value, and they will do anything for this man, whether sexually, financially, whatever. They will do anything for this man. I know many men who have used women, who have manipulated women into maxing out their credit cards for them, who just use women to buy them shit. If you have high sexual market value, marriage market value, or relationship market value as a man, it's because you have those three things: looks, money, and status. Or you've got one that's really high, whether you're super good looking or super rich or super famous. You've got one thing that or two or all three, and this is what women want. And it's just the way that it is. I first learned about this through David D'Angelo, who is a dating coach. He wrote a book called Double Your Dating, and he explained female nature and the reason why women put guys in the friend zone. And he explained what female motivation is all about when it comes to finding a man and things like that. And this is all, everything we've experienced. This is not just anecdotal. This is, what's the word for it? There's a word for it. This is our experience. We experienced this. This is everything that we go through, right? So I first learned about this from David D'Angelo. Then I put it to the test, and I realized, oh, okay, if I come across as a man with high abundance, if I come across as a man who has high value, if I come across as a guy who, so what do? So I looked at guys who had high value, and I figured out, okay, well, let me just act like them. Let me do what they do. I'm not going to respect women. I'm going to be fast. I'm going to always, go for sex on the first date. I'm going to act like I've got better options out there, blah, blah, blah. You know what? It worked like a charm. Women just responded to me. They were like, oh, this guy doesn't want to love me. He doesn't want to settle down with me like every other guy. I'm barely even in this guy's, peripheral view. He barely notices me. Like, oh my gosh, what do I got to do to get this guy to love me? What do I got to do to get this guy to fall for me? What do I got to do to get this guy? And they will be preoccupied so much that they'll spend money on you. They'll do anything sexually. They will compromise their values. They will compromise their family. They will do all of these things if you are high enough value. Once you stop being high value, all that goes away. Everything. You might as well be a bum on the street. You don't matter. Okay. And I've had I shouldn't say many, but I've had several relationships, long-term relationships, where I was that guy who portrayed myself as high value. And then once I started catching feelings for them, once I started, treating them as if I loved them, treating them as if they were special, which is what they claimed they really wanted. Once I started doing that, then they were gone. They hit the road, right? Because once you start doing that, you get put into a different category, which leads me to category 2. Okay, the second category that women put guys in is the guy who is looking for love and commitment. This is the guy who's ready to settle down. This is the guy who wants one girl and wants to love one girl only. Okay, this is not attractive to most women, right? It's just not attractive to most women. That's just bottom line. I don't care how much they say they want love. I don't care how much they say they want a relationship. I don't care how much they say I'm ready to settle down. I'm tired of these fuck boys. I'm tired of, guys being jerks. I'm tired of being used for sex. No matter how much they say that, they will put the guy who is ready to settle down in the friend zone, because their nature won't allow them to accept this guy and love this guy for who he really is. They have to have that guy who's higher abundance. And the reason why is because of hypergamy. The reason why is because this is their nature. It's in a woman's nature to find the best suitable man. So based upon that, you could say, oh, well, these people found love, or this is about love. But in reality, she just found the best guy that had the most resources. He had the best looks, money, and status, period. The end. That's all there is to it. Are there exceptions? Yes. Are there women who will fall in love with a guy for whatever reason? He's just a loser, he's a nobody, and he doesn't have looks, money, and status. Does that happen? Yes, but it's rare. It doesn't happen all the time. It's not often. Women are just not wired this way. That whole Hollywood crap where, oh, they fell in love and it's such serendipity and they met each other. Like, this is not female nature. This is not the truth about how women behave. This is not the truth about what motivates women. They're not motivated by love per se. I'm not going to say women don't want love, but love to them is something different than it is for Hollywood. As nice as Hollywood wants to make it seem, Disney, oh, it's so good. Oh, they overcame the odds, and they finally realized that they love each other, and it's all about love. At the end of the day, love is all that matters. Real life is not like that. It's just not how it is. Women want a guy with money, period. If you don't have money, you're not even in the race. You're not even in the ballpark. You have to have a house, you have to have a car, you have to have your shit together, meaning you're paying bills, you're paying a mortgage, you are responsible. This is it. If you don't have that, you're done. And that right there is how you know love isn't real. Hollywood love, it's not real. Okay, what it really is it's an exchange of intimacy for resources. It's an exchange of intimacy for the man's perceived value. And this is why there's a lot of F-boys, fuck boys, quote unquote, out there, because these guys are pretending like they have value when they really don't. These guys are pretending like they're these great catches, and they're really not. And this is why, at least they're not on paper, right? At least they're not financially, they're not resourcefully. They're not up to the standard, which is why women are always mad. They're not mad because they had sex, or they're not mad because they got used per se. They're mad because the guy lied. Well, yes, they are mad because they got used, but they're mad because the guy doesn't actually have value. This is 9 times out of 10 when a woman's complaining about a guy, it's because he tricked her into thinking that he had more value than he actually does, right? So the second category, the guy who is looking for love and commitment, girls will friend zone this guy. They will friend zone this guy. They will get bored while dating this guy, which is why they often stray and they cheat, right? They don't care about the consequences, even if they're cheating, because they view this man as weak. They view this man as replaceable. Once you are the same as other guys, once you are lower status than other guys, you're replaceable. She doesn't look at you as if your value is in the love she has for you. She looks at you as if your value is in what you bring to the table, and that is what she loves. Does that make sense? So she doesn't actually love you. She loves the lifestyle. She loves the circumstances. She loves the, life that you give her with your resources, with your money, with whatever. And then she says she loves you as a result of all that. Well, again, if all these things weren't there, she wouldn't love you. Therefore, her love is not real. And you have to understand that. And guys, and this is basic. This is really just a basic concept, but guys really just think, oh, I got to work harder. Oh, I got to try harder. I got to be more open-minded. I got to do this, that, and the third. When really it all comes down to just a couple, prerequisites from the man. Again, resources, paying a mortgage. He has his stuff together. He's not living at home with mommy. He's not living in grandma's basement. He's paying a mortgage. He's out there. He has high value. He has to have high value. Now, if the guy has high value and he's looking for love and commitment, then the girl will settle down. But if he doesn't have high value and he's looking for love and commitment, it doesn't matter. But even the guy who's looking for love and commitment and he has his stuff together, a lot of times that guy will still get friend zoned because he is coming across as if he doesn't have options. He is coming across as if he's ready to settle down, which means he's a pushover, which means that in her mind, he's not sought after by other women, right? Because this is what is a prerequisite for women. Other women want to sleep with him. Other women want to date him. He must have high value. Oh yes, now that I got to know him, he dresses well. He's in great shape. He's got a degree. He's got a mortgage. See, all these things are outward, and they really have nothing to do. Well, I mean, they do have something to do with your character, and they do have something to do with who you are as a person. But it doesn't make you individually you. It just makes you the same as everybody else who has all of these, nice outward things that really are transient. Those things can come and go, and they do come and go in life. Oftentimes people get rich in life, or oftentimes people can get poor in life. Your money can come and go, but what's really going to matter should be the love. But it's not about love. It's about the circumstance. It's about the lifestyle you can give her. So yes, in a sense, you are the same as everybody else, or pardon me. Yes, in a sense, you are, unique in the sense that, at least insofar as she chose you, you're unique. But you're not unique out of all the other guys who have the same resources, whatever. But if you don't reach that standard, if you don't reach that, if you don't live up to her standards, she's not even going to be looking at you. She's not even going to be caring about you, right? So it doesn't matter how much she says she loves you, whatever. If you don't have those prerequisites, resources, money, right? So that takes everything out of it. So it's like, oh, I got to actually come up to your standards in order for you to actually love me or whatever. Like, or excuse me, I got to come up to your standards in order for you to even give me a chance for love, right? Like, I got to live up to your insane standards of looks, money, status, whatever, in order to even have a chance. Like, make that make sense. Then you got to compete. Even once you come up to those standards, then you got to compete with all the other guys. This guy's giving her flowers. This guy's taking her on vacation. This guy's doing this. This guy's doing that. So you're competing with all these other. And in the midst of that competition, she gets narcissistic. She thinks she's special. She thinks she's a diva, and she's sleeping with those guys. So her value is lowered, even though it's really not, because guys will overlook all that. But in reality, to any guy who has morals, any guy who actually has standards himself, she's going to disqualify herself in the midst of waiting for that great guy, or in the midst of just whatever she's doing, riding the cock carousel, whatever she decides she's doing. She's going to lower her value herself, but her value really doesn't lower, because the only value that we give women is, oh, be pretty, dress nice, be sexy, give us sex. That's it. They don't have to be moral. They don't have to have ethics. They don't have to have a good character. They don't have to be, but men do. Men have to have all those things, right? You see the discrepancy. You see how it's not balanced, how it's unequal, and yet they talk about, men and women are equal, blah blah blah, but they don't talk about this kind of stuff, right? They just expect that it's a man should just be okay with it, and he should be okay, and he should, because women are somehow special, but yet they're also somehow equal. It doesn't make any sense, right? So the third category is the guy who just has no value, right? He just has no value. He's broke, or he's ugly, or what. They don't want anything to do with him. So they're going to put you into one of those three categories, right? First of all, you're the guy who has options. You're Chad. You're the player. You're the guy they chase. You're the guy they want to love. You're the guy that makes them feel all woo woo woo, because you have abundance, and because you learn those traits of how to not give in to her, how to not put her on a pedestal, how to not worship pussy, how to have abundance, how to actually have options. And when you do that, when you actually have options, when you could take her or leave her, when you don't need her, there you go. She's smitten over you. Oh, this guy doesn't need me. He's not like all the other guys, right? She's going to put you in that category. Or the second category is the guy who's looking for love and commitment. This guy's boring. It's like he's a one track. She's already figured him out. He wants love. When you want love and commitment, in a woman's mind, you're needy. You come across as needy. That comes across as needy, which is fucked up. And it's like, who even, but that's what it is. You come across as needy. Okay. You get friend zoned. They'll get bored dating you. They'll cheat, right? They don't care about the consequences, because they view a man who wants to settle down as a pushover. He is not sought after, and most women don't want to sleep with him simply because he is looking for commitment, and therefore doesn't have an abundance of women in his life. He's not sexy because he doesn't have a lot of women. It's a weird, messed up dichotomy. When a guy has a lot of women, women are attracted to him, right? But yet, at the end of the day, They'll sleep with him, this, that, and third, but they still want him to settle down. They want to turn the bad guy into the good guy. They want to turn the bad guy into the nice guy. They want the best of both worlds, and they don't realize that all men have potential to be that bad guy, to be that bad boy. It's just we don't, because there's a lot of consequence. I mean, you got to worry about STDs. It's a lot of time being a player. It's this, that, and that. But yet, this is what women want, right? You got to worry about getting a woman pregnant. You got to worry about, like, you always got to be one step ahead of the women you're messing around with. I mean, it goes on and on about why, all the things that he's gone through, or all the things that he has to go through to be this guy. And yet the average guy can't do that, or the average guy doesn't want to. He just wants to settle down, but he can't settle down with a lot of women because they're not even attracted to him, because he's looking to settle down just based on that fact alone. Secondly, he has to have money. He has to have his stuff together, right? So when you're in that second category, you might as well be in the friend zone. You're kind of in the friend zone, because they won't give sex to the guy who's looking for a long-term relationship. They won't jump into bed easy with him. In fact, they'll make it harder on that guy, because obviously it's easy to jump into bed with somebody, but it's hard to have a long-term relationship with somebody. So probably she's not even ready. So she's just going to play games with you and go sleep with Chad behind your back. If she is ready, she's going to put you through all kinds of, tests, and you got to be A1 Mr. Great Guy. You see him on the dating or on the Facebook timelines, while they're dating. And he's like the perfect guy, and he takes me out to these places, and we take these great pictures, and everyone says what a great guy he is, and woo woo woo, and you got to jump through all these hoops if you really want commitment. You really got to be Prince Charming. You really got to be A1, number one, right? It's not just, I love you because I fell in love with you. It's not just, I love you because you're unique. You're you. I fell in love with all your unique idiosyncrasies. I chose you. I want to be faithful to you. I want to be loyal to you. No. You have to win her. And this is why men are walking away. Why would you want to do that? It doesn't even make sense. You want to win a hoe? You want to win somebody who's been used 1,000 times? Because these women aren't out here waiting for love, not having sex. They're jumping on Tinder. They're getting banged Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 3 nights a week, 4 nights a week, 5 nights a week. Who knows how many different guys they're banging every week. And this is all just sight unseen, don't ask, don't tell. This is all just, it goes on behind the scenes because our society is like this. So women are not sitting around waiting, knitting, and picking up hobbies and waiting for the right guy to come along. No, they're having sex. They're out sleeping around. And it's like people today want to act like that's no big deal. Like, well, who cares? What does it matter? How does that, mess her up for a relationship? Well, for one, pair bonding. Hello, the more guys she has sex with, the less ability she's able to pair bond. Okay. Second of all, what about STDs? What about unwanted pregnancies? You know how many single moms are out there? So it's nonsense, right? So these are the 3 categories that, and then of course, the last one is, the guy she's not attracted to at all on any level. Like, he doesn't have money. He's not in shape. He's not he doesn't have an attractive face, right? He's not socially lubricated. He's not socially smart, right? He doesn't know how to become popular. He doesn't know how to be the popular guy. He doesn't have fame. He doesn't have status, right? The best that kind of guy can hope for is maybe someday I can get, if I get enough money or get a nice enough career, a woman will fall in love with me, or a woman will choose to be with. Like, it's such a sad world out there, and this is what it is, man. This is what it is. These are the 3 reasons why. This is female nature. Women have done this. It's not men. It's women. It's survival of the fittest. So if that's what it is, fine. Let's call it what it is. That's just what it is. If you don't have good career, if you don't have money, if you don't have resources, you're not going to be able to afford a woman. Women cost money. They're pricey. Let's just be real. Let's throw all that quality PC bullshit out the window, and let's be real and speak real in a real way about how things really happen in the real world, in real life. Okay, let's not sugarcoat everything and because all that does is, it's just stupid, Anyway, these are the three reasons, right? These are the 3 categories women put men in, right? the guy who has options in abundance. They want to sleep with that guy. They'll chase that guy. They'll do anything for that guy. They'll get into a relationship with that guy until he changes, and they'll try to actively change him as well. But then once he changes, then they're no longer attracted to him, and they'll act like, oh, he's no longer the guy, blah, blah, blah. But if he has money, maybe it'll work out. Like if he's got something to keep her around. At the end of the day, you got to have money, or else just you're done. I mean, you got to have money for women, period. The end. Like that's it. If you don't have money, you're never going to have love. And that's just a fact of life, right? The second category is the guy who's looking for love and commitment. Girls will friend zone this guy, get bored with this guy. He's boring, but he's predictable. Like eventually they want predictable. Eventually they want that quote unquote love and commitment. What they really want is a predictable guy in order to have a steady, docile, consistent life. That's it. They don't want any scary changes later on down the road, and they want their bed made. They want their bread buttered. They want to have a guy who's got a house so they can have a place to live. Like if you don't have money, again, so like the guys want love and commitment later on, right? It's like alpha fucks, beta bucks, nice guys finish last. Yes, they do finish last. Yes, they do at least finish. Like they will settle down for the nice guy. Women eventually will settle down for the nice guy. They'll go sleep around, but you get the seconds. You get the sloppy seconds. You get all the consequences. The nice guy inherits all her baggage. He inherits all her bullshit. And that's what it is. That's what it is. So those are the three categories. You know, of course, the last category is, the guy who just has nothing. He's ugly, he has no money, and he has no friends. The end, he's a loser. So this is what everybody's out there chasing. Everybody's out there, I got to make my status better. I got to have more value. I got to wear nicer clothes. I got to make more money. Because then I'll be more important. Because then someone will actually love me. So you're really trying to earn something that should be given away for free. Like if a woman loves you, she should give you that for free. You don't have to earn that. There should be no strings attached. There should be no conditions that need to be met in order for you to have her love, such as financial status or otherwise. Like if she loves you, she loves you at the end. And it's vice versa. If you love a woman, you love her not because she's super sexy, not because she's not because she has, I don't know what do guys look for? Great tits. It's like, it's usually physical, and women look for physical too, but that's about it for men. Great tits, physical, not a bitch. And women can play the game. This is why so many women act like they're so nice. So many women act like everything's all good. Oh, I love you, everything, woo, woo, you're so great. Until 6 months into the relationship, then she starts to change. 2 years into the relationship, then she starts to change. And it's like, well, that's who she really was. It's just she was acting before. She was pretending to be this sweet, submissive, amiable woman who just loves you and wants to suck your cock all the time and wants to cuddle with you and be intimate and share life with you, woo, 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 until the real her comes out and you find out that it was all just a front to get you into a relationship. And that's when, the shit hits the fan. And that does happen. But anyway, guys, I'm talking too much. I'm going to end it there. Those are the three categories. Do with it what you will. Appreciate you listening. Jay Lee Northwest Podcast. Peace.